From reading 1 book a month to 5 books a month. This is what I have learned. Hi guys, I'm Dan. Today let's talk about a good old topic, how to read more. Firstly, God is very fair. Everybody only got 24 hours a day, so it is up to you to decide how to spend your time on. So let's say within these 24 hours, you spend good 8 hours on sleep and then 10 hours on work, school, or study. For the remaining hours, you may be using them on revision, hanging out with your friends, going to the cinema, having a drink, or other hobbies, or maybe even just on social media. After simple calculation, you would roughly got around 2 to 3 hours a day, and it is you to decide how to make a good use of it. I used to only read 1 book in a month, which is really little compared to what others are reading. But now I'm reading a good 5 books, which I know is still not a lot, but it is such a great improvement in a year. Here is the first thing I've learned. Even if you only just read 1 chapter a day, given that a book usually is around 30 to 50 chapters, if you only just read 1 chapter a day, you could still manage to finish a book in a month. Talking about tips or hacks to read more practically, I think the very first thing is to find a genre that you like. From fantasy, sci-fi, horror, classics, fiction, non-fictions, romantasy, manga, graphic novel, or even self-help books, find one genre that you like. The world is literally your oyster. Try to explore as much genres as you can. You can look up on different social medias like YouTube, Goodreads, TikTok, or whatever you're using, but mainly my YouTube channel. Try to find books that people love talking about, and you could try to read it and let's see what you like it. If you like that kind of book, then maybe try to find another books that are similar to the one you're reading. After finding a genre that you like, and I think this tip is literally the most important one, which is trying to find the time to read and turn it into a habit. I would read when I woke up for 30 to 60 minutes, and then before I cook dinner, I will read another hour or so, and then before bed, I will read for around 20 to 30 minutes until I get sleepy. I understand that it might be difficult for people like me to focus on a book, just keep on reading for over an hour. I will use my phone for 3 minutes to refresh my mind in between each chapter. I find it slightly refreshing to my mind, and I may search something related to the book, and of course, gossiping using the social media. After this 3-minute break, I'll just jump to another chapter and keep the momentum of it. Once again, I understand it might be a little bit challenging in the very beginning because your body is not used to it yet. But after you turn it into habit, your body or your mind would tend to focus a little bit longer, so you could potentially read more. The next tip I would say is try to skim rather than read to grab the central idea of a passage. I have heard many people talking about it. Don't try to read every single word out in a sentence. Don't try to read the words out in your mind, or don't digest every single word in a sentence. Rather, you would use skimming, which is like quickly glance over a sentence. Once again, I find it a bit difficult to do so in the very beginning because this is a new method to me when it put to the reading. I will only do so when I am really familiar with the author and their writing styles. So if it's come to a new author, I would tend to not reading every single word out, but I would pay a little bit more attention when it comes to reading the words. But maybe after 50 pages, I would try to skimming it, or even if it's like an easier book, let's say middle grade, let's say YA books. For shorter paragraphs, I may just read the first sentence and the last sentence, especially I know that that scene is not really too important, not giving out too much information. It's just like a, usual conversation, or when the author tries to summarize what they are doing. And the next thing is something that I don't find it practical on me, which is audiobook. It is just not my thing. I find it really difficult, even though I give it not just 1 try. I find it difficult when people speaking out the book for me, and at the same time, I may be doing something else. My mind can only just focus on one thing, so audiobook practically not work on me, and I don't like somebody reading out the book for me as well. I would prefer just reading the book, and I don't think audiobook is the same kind of experience as reading itself. At last, bear this in mind. Reading is never a competition. It should be an enjoyment. It should be something you love to do. I know that it is really difficult because on different platforms like YouTube, Goodreads, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, you could easily see how many books others could be able to finish in a month. This kind of comparison would make you feel defeated, unmotivated, or even question yourself, have you done something wrong so you couldn't finish this number? It is okay to just finish a book or nearly finish a book in a month because it should be something that you like. Just remember, every people got different kind of living style. Maybe they have plenty of time. Maybe they do reading as a full-time and make a living for it, so they could have more time for reading. It is okay to just finish a book or nearly finish a book in a month. All in all, I hope these tips will work on you. Let me know if you find them useful or not. And if you have any other tips, you could leave them down below in the comments. If you don't want to miss any content from me, make sure you have subscribed to my channel. If you find this video useful, give it a like. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.